So hi guys, I'm Swapnil and welcome to yet another video tutorial with Prep Bytes. In this video tutorial, I would be discussing the problem team name of the February Long Challenge 2021 of Division 3. So let us get started with the problem statement. And in the meanwhile, I would be marking all the important points with a page marker. So here we go. Chef has assembled a football team. Okay. Now he needs to choose a name for his team. There are N words and they are in English, and the chef considers these particular N words as funny. Okay. These N words are given to us by the user and they are S1, S2 up to Sn. Okay. Now, the chef thinks that a good team name should consider two words such that they are not funny. Okay. So the team name should be having two words such that neither of the two word is funny. But if we swap these first letters in them, then the resulting words are funny. So basically, if we are swapping the first letters of the team name, then the two words become funny. And initially they shouldn't be funny. So we have a note over here that under the given constraints, this means that a word is a non-empty string containing only lowercase English letters. So basically here by word, the chef means a non-empty string containing only lowercase English letters. So our task is to find how many good team names are possible for the chef. Okay, let's move to the input. The input goes like the first line of the input contains a single integer t denoting the total number of test cases, and each test case has two lines. The first line of each test case contains a single integer n. The second line contains n space separated integers, which are the words which my chef finds funny. Okay. Now for each test case, we will have to print a single line containing one integer, that is the total number of ways to choose a good name for the chef, or in other words, total number of good names for the team of the chef. The constants are t can range from 1 to 100, n can go from 2 to 2 into 10 to the power 4, and my words can have size from 2 to 20, and all these words only contains lowercase English letters and they are pairwise distinct. Okay. Now the sum of n over all the test case does not exceed 2 into 10 power 4. Okay, fair enough. Now coming to the sample test cases, we would be going to the coding area and discussing the same. So let's move to the coding area now. Okay. So the gist of the problem is nothing but we have got n funny words and we need to find how many names are possible having two non-funny words which becomes funny when we swap the first letter of the two words. Okay, so this is the gist of the problem. This complete is the gist. So let us now discuss the sample test cases. When n is equals to 2 and my given funny words are SUF and MAS. Okay, so for this case we can have the team names like MUF, SAS and SAS MUF. So you can see that it's pretty basic that always this particular team names occur in multiple of twos, because if we are having some particular name, then obviously the reverse of that is also a name. Basically if we put SAS over before MUF, then it is also a possible team name. So it will always occur in multiples of 2. It's pretty basic. So the answer over here would be 2. Now coming to the time when n is equals to 3 and my array of funny names are good game guys. So for this case, since the first letter of all the words are same, G, G and G, so we will have 0 possible names, because even if we will take two names and we would be swapping these two names, then it will remain funny. So basically we can't have two non-funny words and swap them so that it would become funny, because after swapping it won't be possible, right? Because the first letter of all these names are same. Okay, now coming to this particular case when n is equals to 4 and my array of funny words is hell, bell, best and test. So names can be hest, tell and hest. So only two possible names are there. and other pairs can't give me any possibility of having two non-funny words, which if the first letter is swapped, it becomes funny. We would be looking through the funda and checking how this particular thing is coming up. Okay, so what would be my funda? So the funda is nothing but simple brute force technique would work here if we are trying to pass only the subtask. And the brute force technique is to loop through every pair of funny words. Okay, basically instead of going for every possible names, we are going for every possible funny words, and then we would be changing their first letter and we would be swapping them, and the name which we would be getting, that would be a possibility of a proper team name. So basically what I am doing here over here is nothing but we are looping through every pair of funny words. If their first letters are not same, if the first letters of any pair of the funny words are not same, then we would be swapping them. And if the newly created words after swapping their first letters are not present among the funny words, among the set of funny words, then we would be incrementing my answer by 2. Why 2? Because I told you that if S1 and S2 is the non-funny words after swapping, then S2 and S1 is also a possibility. That's why I am incrementing here by 2. Okay. You can see here why incrementing by 2, because if the name is like S1 S2, then it can also be like S2 S1. So the pseudocode for the brute force is nothing but an outer loop will be there, which would be running from 0 to n minus 1, and inner loop would be running from I plus 1 to n minus 1. Basically these two loops are doing nothing but giving me a pair of two funny words. So S1 and S2 are a pair of two funny words. If the first letter of S1 and the first letter of S2 is same, then I would be like continuing this particular iteration and won't be working out with this particular pair. But if S1 first letter and S2's first letter are not same, then we would be swapping these two particular first letters, and we would be checking if both S1 and S2 are not present in the funny word set. If this is the case, then answer plus is equals to 2. And finally, we would be printing the answer over here. So this is the basic brute force for solving this particular problem. But can we optimize our solution? Like, think of some cases. Let's not just jump to the optimization, but think of some cases that why is this particular technique going or taking too long to get our answer? Because we are overworking over here. We are taking or we are considering each and every pair. So is there a way to reduce the number of comparisons, or basically is there a way to make similar set of words into a certain set? Basically we are dropping similar words into a certain sets, and then we are comparing those particular sets and not each and every pair. You have got the idea. You can try it out. If it doesn't work out, then let's move to the optimized way of solving this particular problem. So as I said, can we optimize our solution for some repeated type of pairs? Yes, we can do that. Let us now divide our words into two parts. One is the head part, which is nothing but the first letter S of 0, if S is the string, and another is body part. Body is nothing but the rest of the string, which can be found by substring 1. Basically substring 1 is doing nothing but it is removing the first letter of the string, and the rest of the string is like that only. So this is my body and this is my head. And now let us discuss the pairs which are formed in the third test case, and let us see third test case means this one, hell, bell, best, test. And let us now see where exactly we are overcounting. So the pairs are hell, bell, hell, best, hell, test, bell, best, bell, test, and best, test. Okay, so hell, bell will give me 0 contribution, because if we will be swapping hell and bell, we would be getting bell and hell. And now that both are funny words, so the contribution would be 0. So basically if some pair of words is having same body, then their contribution is 0 only, because even after swapping, those particular names would be present in the funny word set. Hell best is also giving me 0 contribution because after swapping Bell is present in my funny set, so it is also giving me 0 contribution. Hell and test is giving me 2 contribution. Why so? If we would be swapping H and T over here, we would be getting hash tell and tell hash, which are not present in my funny word one, which are not present in my funny word set. Okay. Bell best. Bell best is also giving me 0 contribution since they are having same set of heads. And if it is having same set of heads, then there is no meaning of swapping it, because even after swap, the words would be the same. Bell and test would also be giving 0 contribution because B after swapping over T would give me best, which is present in my funny word set, and best test would again give me a 0 contribution because they are having same body. So after swapping, it would become nothing but test best, which is, if considered as a pair, they are same, because best test was over here also, over here also, so it is same and they are present in the funny word set. So we can infer that if in a pair body is same, then 0 contribution, because even after swapping, it will be present in the funny word set. And if the head is same, then again it is 0 contribution, because after swapping words will be the same if the head is same. So let's make different set of heads of the words based on their bodies. So basically what I want to say that if body is same for certain number of heads, then let's group these heads together. Like for the test case, hell, belt, best and test, I am grouping all the ELL body heads together. ELL body heads can be H and B, because HELL is there and BELL is there. So if I am taking ELL as the body, the heads can be H and B. And for the EST body, the heads can be B and T, right? So why exactly are we doing this? We are doing this in order to minimize my extra pairs with same body, which were already contributing 0. Then why are we exactly comparing hell and bell? Right? We shouldn't do this. This is just an over calculation or a redundant work which we shouldn't do in order to optimize our solution. So there is no point of calculating the contribution of hell and bell, because they are already having same body. So even after swapping them, my contribution would be 0. And same goes for best and test. You can see over here that for hell and bell, because they were having same body, the contribution was 0, and best and test, because they were having same body, the contribution was 0. So to reduce this particular overhead of calculation, we are making another group of all such words having same bodies, and we are grouping all their heads together. Okay, now we will be finding pairs with different bodies in our calculation. So we can see that same heads also contribute to 0. As said earlier, that if even if the sets are having different bodies, or basically even if a pair is having different body, if it will be having same head, then it will also contribute to 0. As I said over here, that if body is same, then 0 contribution. If head is same, then also 0 contribution. So we can also see that same heads also contribute to 0. So my contribution, my major contribution is only done by the heads which are unique in the sets. And what are sets over here? Sets are nothing but bodies, right? So for different bodies, what is my major point of contribution? For different bodies and different heads, we are getting some contribution, right? So that is for the above two sets with bodies ELL and EST, right? So only pair that will contribute For ELL and EST over here, you can see that ELL and EST, the only pair that is contributing is HEST and TEL, right? Because B over here is having same head. So BEL and BEST, basically we will have to remove this particular comparison, BEL and BEST, BEL and BEST, or BEST and BEL. So what I mean to say that we have divided our words into different categories based on their bodies, but we will also have to ignore all such comparisons where my heads is coming as same. So like comparisons of BEL and BEST, which would again contribute to 0. So the only pair which will be contributing over here is the ones which are unique in this particular set, and the ones which are unique in this particular set. H is unique in this particular set, T is unique in this particular set. So only contribution would be done by H and T, which is giving me the names, final names as HEST, TEL and HEST, because the contribution of B is 0 because it is common to both the sets. So because the words after swapping B with any of the other heads will give me same funny word starting from B. You can see that even if B is compared with not only these particular comparisons, but we will also have to ignore these particular comparisons when BELL is compared with TEST, because this would again give me 0 contribution. You can see over here BELL and TEST is giving me 0 contribution because BEST is already present in my funny word set, right? And we will also have to ignore the comparison of this particular set of words or pair of words where it is HEST, okay, where it is HEL and BEST. Because after swapping it would become BEL, and BEL is already present in the set. So this gives us a pretty basic idea that the only contributing characters in the set are the ones which are unique to the set, which is H and T. That's it. We can't use the ones which are common to the set. So our final optimized solutions algorithm is like, we will map all the bodies to their heads as the keys. Here basically in the map a string is mapped to an array of characters. So it would be like MP, if MP is my map, MP of body, and then it is the head over here is added to it, and basically head is nothing but a character. And for each and every body, let us say for the body ELL, I am having one array of characters. For EST also I am having one array of characters. So this would be my map, right? This is the map. Basically in the map a string is mapped to an array of characters, and then for each pair of distinct bodies, or basically each pair of distinct bodies means for ELL, EST and sets like this or bodies like this, we will have to calculate the unique keys mapped to them. As I said earlier, only the contributing factor are the unique keys or unique heads in that particular body. Okay, so we will have to count the unique number of heads that is mapped to a certain body. Say count 1 is the count of heads which are only mapped to body 1, okay, and count 2 is the count of heads which is only mapped to body 2, and then we would be adding their contribution as answer plus is equals to count 1 into count 2, and this would be my contribution. And here is how we are decreasing the overhead of unnecessary calculation, and finally we would be printing out the answer. Now there comes another problem, that how are we planning to count the heads which are only mapped to one body among a pair of bodies. So the basic solution for this is that we would be finding the intersection. So the basic solution to count the same would be to find the intersection of the two body sets, which in the above case is HB and T. In the above case means this one, HB and BT, then intersection would be HBT. Okay, so intersection is HBT. And how are we planning to do that? How are we planning to count the number of elements in the intersection of the two sets, we would be inserting all the heads or all the characters of both the bodies into a set, basically a set of characters in C++, and we would be returning the size of the set, because in C++ or in Python also, and maybe in Java also, if we would be inserting some number of, or basically some number of characters in a set, then only unique characters are present in that particular set. So returning the size of the set would give me only the unique characters, or basically the intersection of all the characters, and let this intersection be CNT. Now the number of heads unique to body 1 is nothing but count minus size of body of set 2, and the unique number of heads basically unique to body 2 would be nothing but the intersection minus the size of body of set 1. So why so? Because we are simply subtracting the number of elements present in the other set. For calculating the number of heads that is unique to only body 1, I am subtracting the total number of elements in the set 2 from the intersection. So by this we would be getting the total number of elements or total number of heads that are unique to only body 1, which gives me the number of elements unique to my set. So this is the pretty basic logic of solving this particular problem. After getting the intersection, we would be doing this particular thing. So this is the basic algorithm and pseudocode. You can solve it in any of your preferable language. And let me move to the C++ implementation and show you how I did that. Okay. So basically, for t test cases, I did while t minus minus and took input of n. And then I made a map of string and I mapped it to vector of characters. And I also maintained a vector of string v. Okay. Now I am taking input each and every funny words from the user, and I am basically maintaining, or basically finding the substring, or here SUF is nothing but my body. So SUF is nothing but, we can also write, instead of writing SUF, we can write over here that string body, right? So this is my body, and I am checking if this particular body is not already present in my map. If it is not already present in my map, I am pushing it over to the vector v. Okay, and I am basically, for each and every body, I am pushing back the head. S of 0 is nothing but the head, and SUFD is the body. As I showed you in the algorithm part, this is nothing but MP of body dot add head. This line depicts this particular thing. Now I am basically taking each and every unique pairs of bodies. How am I doing that? Because all the unique pairs of the bodies is stored in this vector string v. Because I am checking if it is unique. Yeah, if it's unique, then I am pushing back this particular body to my vector. So my vector is having only the unique number of bodies. So I am taking each and every pairs of unique bodies, and I am counting the intersection of their set of heads. MP of v of I is the set of heads of vi. Vi is nothing but the body. So MP of vi is giving me the set of heads of vi. So I am sending the vector character set, or vector of, or the array of characters, to the intersection function. And once the intersection is being calculated, I am subtracting the size of this particular vector, or this particular set of heads. You can say that it is a set represented by vector. So the set of heads, I am subtracting its size from the intersection, and I am basically multiplying the complete contribution, and finally I am printing 2 into answer. Why am I printing 2 into answer? Because as I said, if S1 S2 is a possible answer, then S2 S1 would also be a possible answer. So this is the pretty basic logic, and let us move to how did we find the intersection. We did nothing but we declared an unordered set of characters, and then we inserted all the characters that is present in the vector A and in the vector B, and finally we returned the size of st. Okay, so this is the pretty basic code of our team name problem of CodeChef, and let us submit this, or let us check it over the sample test cases in the Sublime Text Editor only. Okay, so you can see that it is running fine for the sample test cases. Let me comment this free open lines. Okay, and let us move to the CodeChef platform for submitting this particular problem. Okay, let me paste my code over here. We have successfully commented the free open lines, and let's submit it. Okay, so you can see that we have got an AC over this solution. I hope you have got the pretty basic idea of how to solve this particular problem. Thank you for watching this video and keep coding.